Hey guys, I'm Ryan.
I'm Adam.
And this is Two Neighbors. Adam, what are we watching today?
Well, we're watching something a bit different. This is a request, and the request is by a guy named, or girl, I don't know, AM. So AM, this is for you. Bill Burr brilliantly explains the context of comedic language. Now, we've talked a lot about this.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what the legend himself, Bill Burr, has to say about this topic.
Who better than to?
Who better than to?
Yeah.
So thank you very much, AM. Really appreciate you sending this over to us. Guys, we try and do every single video that we can. Please keep sending them our way. We appreciate all the suggestions, and we always try and do them. So please be patient with us.
Yeah, we do. We get a lot of requests now, and we're trying to get through them all. And it's not that we're ignoring you; it's that he's ignoring you. No, I'm just kidding. We're trying to get through them, guys.
We do a video a day, so we're trying to push them out as fast as we can. So please be patient. But yeah, let's do this one.
The thing about the Tracy Morgan thing, it's like...
That whole thing I thought was bullshit.
The Tracy
It
Morgan
was
thing?
absolute ridiculous bullshit.
But hang on.
I can't stand people who everything's funny, then the shit comes around to them, and then all of a sudden they stop saying it's jokes, they say it's statements. And I'm not saying because I wasn't there. And he got like Look, you weren't there, I wasn't there, and I just felt like he didn't get a chance to say. He just immediately went into apology mode, and then all of a sudden they're parading around like this trophy. I don't feel he got a fair shake. That's all I'm saying.
But here's the thing. And this is the only thing I'll say about the thing that I believe about this is...
No, it isn't, but go ahead.
Shut the fuck up, Mom. You get to say whatever you want. We all get to, right?
Absolutely.
But the second it comes out of our mouths, it's no longer in our control about how it's supposed to be interpreted. People can hate it. They can do whatever you want. So every time you say something, like I always say, the only thing I promise my audience is that I wrote something I care about. I say it because I believe it. The second it comes out of my fucking mouth, you can hate it, you can write your congresspeople, you can call your network, and that's the bottom line, is that we all have to deal with the shit that comes to us from saying what we say.
Right. That's how I believe it. Like, the person who said it knows what they meant by it. If you process it in a fucked up way, ask him how he meant it first.
Then you don't get that luxury. As a comedian, you don't get the luxury to say, but I really meant to say it this way.
I realize that.
But here's what it really rests on, is that the whole thing came off of one guy's blog. Every
One guy's interpretation.
news item about it. And how do we know he's not a dick? We weren't there. Sometimes some audience people can't see irony from a million miles away.
But did Tracy deny saying it? No. Did the guy get it wrong? No. Those two things,
How do you know that?
Because Tracy didn't say, wait, dude, that's not exactly what I said.
Whether he said something offensive or not, I just thought it was fucked up that one guy went home like with, I guess, the greatest memory ever, like a stenographer, and typed it out, and everybody's like, that's what he said, and that's what he meant, because guy in seat number 5F said it. And next thing you know, he's going around getting to apologize. That's kind of a scary thing as a comedian.
Well,
I've seen Tracy's act, like, his show is crazy. His show is pretty over the top.
Tracy's genuinely
So it's not like he's up there like, what's up with them tables, and then goes into that shit. And then when it comes to me, where you're doing like this selective getting offended. I was trying to remember what he was heckling. I just remember cocksuckers, so I think we were talking about gay people.
There we go.
You know, the fucking lesson here is the gay community has a very strong activist community who, when they hear shit against them, they take it to the mat, and guess what? Shit happens.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that. Guess what? Shit happens. So like so then you have to just.
I mean, if there's one.
I mean, you gotta take like that word.
Shut up, Russell.
Ball breaking. Anytime you play sport, I was playing hockey the other day. Okay, and this guy, he knocked me down. I felt stupid. I got up. He asked me. He goes, you all right? And I go, yeah, you faggot. Like it was this oddly intimate moment. He was going, are you okay? And we were on the ice, and it made me uncomfortable. And I said, hey, you faggot, get away from me.
So you want us to believe that you're fucking skating around with your buddy on the ice, figure skating, and we're supposed to believe you're with the fucking monkey.
You see what he's doing now? He's using like homophobia. Hey, you're twirling out there in your dress.
You're twirling out there in your
Yeah,
little
see
skates.
that? That's what guys do. This is what guys do. It always becomes,
know what?
hey, you're there, you little sissy boy.
That's just ridiculous.
It's what is ridiculous. I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed to be married. I don't think they should be treated like second-class citizens. I think the way
You just think you can say faggot derogatorily when you're on the ice when there's nobody gay around. That's what you think.
it came out because of my childhood.
But you don't think
But because of that word, then it's going to be like, oh, this is how he feels about gay people, and then he has to go apologize. It's ridiculous.
There's reactionary words, and then there's words that.
And faggot is one of them.
Yeah, but it's. I say to my friends, I'll
I'll call my friend, like, what are you doing tonight? He goes, I gotta go out with my wife. I go, faggot. And then I'll hang up the phone. And there's nothing gay about it.
Yeah,
but it's
by the
just
way,
a word that seems so ridiculous.
I meant to tell you to stop doing that to me.
Stop hanging out with her.
Well, you said something interesting about when it's individual words. Like, a lot of people will get busted just for using a word, and the context goes away, and the irony goes away, and all that sort of stuff. But you made a really interesting point when I was talking to you for the book Satiristas about how what it does is give a roadmap to racists to not get in trouble, because all they have to do is avoid certain words.
Yeah, you can kind of leap across the pond because they just know what not to say and they can continue thinking it.
Well, wait a
So
minute.
why did that, just out of curiosity, like why was it that faggot was the word that came to you when he was trying to help you?
Okay, now this is the thing. This is the
You're
question.
subconsciously gay, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
Why are you judging that?
No, but this
This is what happens, exactly.
Exactly, right?
No, this right here is what, these are the questions that they should ask. Rather than saying, you said it, so it means this. Why did it come? Because of the way I grew up, because of the way guys are. You're not supposed to be, I fell down, are you okay? Yeah, it's like, you're not
Why does
supposed
the word, but obviously, he's from Boston.
Can I, you know what?
You know what? And one person from Boston's gonna get fucking offended and be like, well, what do you mean by that? Tell me, and then how did you mean Boston?
You described Boston perfectly. How did you describe it?
It's like a racist San Francisco. It's got that nice sort of, if I was gonna live in a city and raise kids, I could do this. It's got culture, it's got the symphony, and then it has all of that. Hey, you fucking queer, it's got all that shit.
But you see, when I was growing up in the Bronx,
Right.
which is similar to, vibe as where you grew up.
What name are you from, the Bronx?
Town Parkway area.
Giddy bastard. Go ahead.
Now the guinea pigs are going to be upset.
Yeah, but when I was a kid growing up in the Bronx, a faggot had we didn't know what homosexual was, like 8, 9 years old. Faggot just meant you wouldn't, press the doorbell and run away.
Right.
What about George Carlin's great routine?
What's that?
He goes, when he's growing up, a fag was a guy that wouldn't go downtown with you and beat up the queers. Just go home, fag.
But yeah, but that's it. That in our background, I literally didn't know that it had a sexual component until probably maybe 12, 13, 14.
Now that you
We
do
are
know
all
that, it
Africans.
still
Shirt. Yeah.
comes out.
It actually struck me as funny, and I thought it would be a great bit, because the bit is actually two straight guys. You can't have that fucking moment of I was worried about you.
Right.
You can't have that. You get all weird.
Yeah,
Dude, get the fuck away from me. You're just not allowed to have that moment.
So in the
But
bit,
it has nothing to do with gay people. But then that knee-jerk reaction is, oh, you said that word, let's look it up on the chart. Oh, that means this and it means that, and now you have to go on TV because on the chart it means you meant that when you said it.
but when you did that bit, it was really criticizing yourself for not being able to accept some sensitivity from another guy.
That's why guys drop dead at 50 from 40 years of not being able to admit a puppy's cute. You just got to keep pushing it down. And it's actually, it's a weakness. The question Liz asked is the way they should go about it when shit like that happens, rather than having one guy who got offended be like, he said this is exactly what he said, and this is what the fuck it meant. Apologize. Here's your podium.
That's all I wanted to get to. That's right.
Yeah. See? And look what we got to. We got to someplace interesting.
Whoa. Once again, who is determining how somebody's intent is? Who is to determine, hey, the way you said that was mean-spirited. I know a lot of fucking idiots that think a lot of shit is mean-spirited just because it goes against what they believe. Everything is subjective to each audience. So you can say one thing in front of one audience, say the same thing, and those people are offended because it offends them. Just like me. There's shit that offends me. But it's I can't make those determinations.
What offends you?
All right, this is a bad example, but...
I wonder when people talk about race, and I've never seen your act, so I don't know.
Appreciate that.
But Bill, but with Bill, I feel like when you talk about race, it evokes more questions and people talking. So why bring up race if you don't want to have a conversation that goes on further about race? Why just make a joke about, oh, my people are stupid, or my people are cheap, or whatever it is? What's the point of that, ultimately?
I go for the perspective of culture, because culturally, it's completely different than race.
we're outsiders, and when you're an outsider, you have a better perspective of everything. And the more of an outsider you are, the more perspective you gain.
But you do this Asian character, phenomenal voices, but I can't believe you don't get in trouble for it.
No, because if there's any Chinese people here, they'll know. They immediately come to me and go, "That was the best Hong Kong accent I ever heard." They recognize it immediately.
I remember that too, watching, like, I would watch Def Jam. And if it was a generic white voice, it would annoy me. But if it was a specific white voice, like you could picture the guy, and then you'd be like, that shit actually happened.
Yeah.
That's funny. But if it was just like, oh, I'm sitting in a chair. Oh, yeah. I hated that. But like,
Richard Pryor was the first person I ever heard who was not white do white voices. For the first time in my life, I was in the position of being the culture that is genericized to some stereotype that's like really not makes you feel good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I was watching Def Jam. This comic opened up with "bitches ain't shit," and I was like, wow.
Let's be honest, they ain't shit. I mean,
yeah, but if you really got underneath what he was saying, he was probably just afraid to get into a relationship. You know?
I know.
There's layers.
I love his mind, man.
I didn't even think of it.
You gotta go right now?
Yeah, I got to 10:30. We started.
You gotta go do a show.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for having me.
He's like, I'm in
I'm
demand.
a Colin Quinn fan, so I'll allow him to spew his racist hatred.
Yeah.
I have tickets to Bill Burr, so I have to.
That was a good little.
that was
a
cool.
good little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, AM. Really appreciate that that video. I have to agree with Bill Burr. You know, you can say whatever you want. It's the context behind those words of how you mean them.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, I'm not one to say like the word faggot out loud to like a buddy, but that's my own perspective. But I know like he's not a raging homophobic.
No. So, and funny enough, I think we've actually had this conversation a little bit before, because I said like growing up, and I totally get where like Bill Burr's coming from. I wasn't raised to hate anybody. I have like, you know, a lot of multiculturalism. As Canadians, I think most of us just do. Like, we're just born into it. But the whole like faggot thing, that was like when you're playing around with your friends and stuff when you're younger, it was 100% acceptable back then just to call someone a faggot. It wasn't nothing to do at all with them being gay.
Yeah.
It was like just like calling someone an idiot or an asshole was just like
Exactly.
taking it up another notch, right?
Yep.
And now to this day, I go out of my way not to say it. But if I'm around like my old like high school buddies and stuff, and you know we're shooting back and forth, like.
Yeah.
Whether it's me or someone else, someone's gonna throw out there like someone's gonna say something exactly like Bill Burr said, where it's like this caring thing, like, oh, you know what, like I haven't seen you guys in forever, like so good to see him. Like someone will be like, what a faggot, you know? It's like it has nothing to do. It's not derogatory, but I enjoy all different types of comedy, and to me, you know, if you are going to allow yourself to go out there and experience the comedy. To me anyways, you should not go in there with the mindset that you're going to be offended by something, because exactly like Bill Burr said, you could laugh your ass off for an hour and 15 minutes of a comedy routine making fun of everyone else, and then like something like cues in on you, like he starts in on, you know, on Canadians or on white people or whatever, right? Whatever happens to be your thing, you have no right at this point to now become offended. And you know, I don't like that about you know, I guess the way like kind of the culture is going with just having to walk on eggshells, because to me, I'm 100%, it's getting very political, but it's 100% about like, you know, equal rights for everyone. But when it comes to comedy, guys, that's a time that like brings people together, and it's a way that you can bring stuff out in the open.
It's like a film where you see like a terrible like bad scene, like a, you know, rape or whatever. It's like, you know, raw shit, like real stuff. Like, it's kind of in the same parallel.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think, look,
it all comes down to art. It's all art.
Outside of like, you know, Michael Richards type performance, like Kramer from Seinfeld, like I mean, that was a comedy. That was just
totally
like,
different thing.
That's like what, but you know,
was
so
a
that's
rant.
why I'm careful when I say I think comedians should literally be able to say anything that they want to say on stage.
Yeah.
And like just walk away from it at the end of the day. And if you can't walk away from it as the audience, that's your problem. That's not their problem. That's your problem.
Yeah. Leave the show.
Exactly.
If
you don't like it, walk out. Don't buy another ticket.
Yeah.
So
yeah, to
I agree with Bill Burr.
Bill Burr's point of just being like, you know, he doesn't, like, the person doesn't have to apologize just for the sake of apologizing, because like that's not what they meant when they said it. You know, so it's like it's just a fake presentation of just being like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like what's expected of us in 2020.
The context is always big, and you know, some people, we know this from everyday life, people take things out of context all the time, and now with the power of the media, like social media especially, to be able to, like, any person sitting on their toilet can, like, you know, have an audience of millions of people and, you know, sway minds and stuff. So anyways, guys, that's our humble opinion. Tell us what you think in the comment section down below.
Some questions down below.
You guys agree with us, or, you know, do you think we're way off base? So, you know, let us know.
What you think.
Yeah.
Guys, please, if you have any suggestions like AM did, please put it down below with the hashtag
My request
with the URL link. And Ryan, what else should they do?
Like, share, and subscribe, please, guys.
Like, share, and subscribe. We will see you next time.
Later, guys.